Welcome back! Not too long ago I ran a session with my players that took place totally in a metropolis, similar to Baldur's Gate. It had lots of plazas strewn about it, and in one of them was a bazaar. This is one piece from that marketplace, and it went over really well.
Obtain a typical tea light. It needs to be no more than 1.5 inch in diameter, and the body of it needs to be no more than 7/8 of an inch tall. Cut out a chipboard square, 1.5 inches to each side. Locate dead center of the tile. Poke a hole and widen it so that the tea light's flame will fit through. Apply hot glue and secure this square onto the tea light. Apply a very thick coat of undiluted white PVA glue to the square, but not to the tea light flame. Flock with a few pebbles, and then sand. Let it dry overnight. Apply a solid yellow base coat. You may need to do 2 or 3 coats to get a solid yellow, depending on the quality of the paint you're using. Apply a medium pressure dry brush in orange. Apply a light pressure dry brush in red. Last, apply a very light dusting of black to get a nice charcoal look. Now let's build the structure. Get some dollar store foam board, which should be 3/16 of an inch thick. From it, measure out and cut 2 each of the following designs for a total of 4 pieces. Apply a cobblestone texture to all 4 of these pieces on one side only, similar to what we did for the tavern tiles back in episode 10. Assemble the structure using hot glue. Brush on a water and white glue mixture and let dry overnight to give it some rigidity. Base the structure in black. Insert the tea light into the structure. We need to secure it from the underside. Just pump in a lot of hot glue in all four corners and it should spread out and do the job. Let's prepare the roof. Use cereal box cardstock or anything of a similar thickness. Cut out a rectangle of 2.5 inches by 1 7/8 inch. Mark the center in the longer direction, so that should be 1 1/4 inches, and fold along that line. Hot glue the roof to the structure. Again, using cereal box cardstock, cut a 1/2 inch wide strip. Chop that strip into 2-inch long segments. Take one of those segments and cut it almost all the way through, every 1/4 inch or so. Mix it up so it looks random. Then chop off just a sliver of these tongues that you've created to add further randomness. Hot glue this to the bottom of the roof. You should have about an 1/8 inch overhang in all 3 directions. Repeat this and attach the next one such that there's about an 1/8 inch overlap with the first one. You get the idea. Finish the whole roof this way, 4 to each side. Then, to cap the top, simply take one of those 2-inch segments and fold it lengthwise, then hot glue it on as shown. Base the roof in black. Apply a medium gray to your cobblestones, with the brush at an extreme angle so as not to push any paint into the cracks. I left the interior black, didn't bother to paint it gray. But do be sure that you hit all the edges of the 4 windows. For the shingles, I simply apply Curafin's wood paint scheme, which we covered back in episode 7. Heavy dry brush of burnt umber, healthy dry brush of terracotta, and a slightly lighter dry brush of honey brown. Finally, get a lighter gray and pick out a few random cobblestones on each side. Once again, I'm using slate gray, which I love so much because it has a slight, ever so slight, hint of blue to it. Not enough to really notice, but enough to break the monotony of medium gray and make the scenery pop. I am Wylock, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.